Hi, welcome to another episode of Not Another Couples Podcast. No?
Oh, yes.
Yes, no?
I just wanted to know what number we're at.
Oh, we don't care about
I do.
numbers. We don't care about numbers anymore.
Oh.
There's so many. It's just...
Has it reached my age, do you think?
Oh, yes.
Has it?
We're so old now. I actually don't know.
Okay.
We'll just stop counting because there's so many. They're just like multiple episodes now, so you can watch, listen, learn. Watch, listen, learn. That could be our new motto. Do you think?
Yeah, learning.
Learn a lot.
There is a lot of Mark's facts. There's
interesting information.
Bits about your downstairs baubles.
My big baubles.
Which were downstairs.
They were downstairs, yes. Christmas time. Go listen to that one if you haven't listened. This week I really think we've been talking, a few people have brought it up, like family feuds or family, obviously with Christmas, New Year, everybody's like together a lot.
Very true.
And
there's
so
a lot of dynamics,
there can be a lot of overload of family that you don't necessarily spend as much time with maybe normally, or you're just sort of in and out of each other's lives. And then at family it's quite intense. But the Beckhams have had like an even bigger...
Have they had a blowout?
Bigger feud. It's been ongoing. It's a bit like the Harry Meghan thing, but it's obviously within the Beckhams dynamic. And I think it's between Brooklyn Beckham, the eldest.
Is that the oldest one?
The oldest son.
Yeah.
And
Romeo.
Well, his brothers, there's always, I mean, you know, sibling rivalry you sort of get. Do you know what I mean? I can get that because, you know, there's four of them. There's always going to be someone gets on better with one time.
Middle child syndrome.
The way they go through their ages and different things happen in their life. That's fair enough because they're all still fairly young. But he's cut his whole family off.
Oh.
Literally no contact whatsoever. Only way they can contact him now is through his lawyers.
Blimey, something must have...
It's called cease and desist, apparently, in America. Cease and desist.
Didn't a kid try and do that to his parents in the States once? So the kid was under 18 and he didn't want anything to do with his parents anymore, and he did that. And the only way that... I don't know where he lived because he was under 18.
How do you pay for it?
Well, how did Brooklyn pay for it?
Well, he's married to a multi-billionaire's daughter in America. And I think this is what's caused a lot of the rift. And they're trying to blame it on her.
You see, it's like when I came into your family. Posh boy from Surrey and you commoners from Essex.
And they blame it on you or me?
No, they weren't happy with... My family weren't happy with me marrying down.
Oh, God, just such a wanker. Because your parents are exactly like that.
Yes.
Not.
Yes. Yeah.
Ever.
I know. I moved down a class.
No, we just, you know, my family just embraced you because you were just on your own.
Well, no,
freckled on your
mum did say to me, if you can tolerate Suzie, you're good for me.
Jesus, she can talk.
Yeah.
Anyway, you see, family feuds. Let's not go down that route.
But I do feel sorry for, you know, someone like the Beckhams, or, you know, if this was just an ordinary family, no one would really know about it apart from their close friends and colleagues and all that kind of stuff. As we do, we were discussing with a friend yesterday, they had a bit of a family feud going on. We know lots of people that have family feuds all the time, but because they're in the spotlight, it must be so horrible for everyone because there's so much emotion involved.
But I think that's part of it. The problem is these kids are born into these like super famous,
privileged,
wealthy, you know, and David and Victoria had a very middle class background, but David wasn't originally. And obviously they've just been launched into super fame and super wealth.
Can we think of a very famous family that seem to be happy and together? The one I do quite impressed with, who has a lot of fame but is still very family orientated, is the chef that does triathlons.
Gordon Ramsay?
Yes. Well, I know you may not like him on TV.
No comment.
Oh, is he not? Oh, is it?
I would say the one who does it is Chris Hemsworth. He's always like taking his kids off and doing crazy stuff with him. But that's what, this is the problem. So this is what I think the Beckhams have, you know, had family, they've had kids. He's saying he had quite a traumatic childhood, not in the way that we all think of the traditional traumatic childhood.
Like mine.
But obviously he was sort of just like a little accessory pimp baby. You know, they got married after they had him, and there's a photo of them wearing their purple
Oh yes.
outfits and him in a little purple suit with a cowboy hat. He's probably like had nightmares.
But that,
No, I know.
okay.
I'm not.
But
I'm
how
not
many
feeling sorry
photos
for
have you got
him.
looking back? And you go, who the hell dressed me in
Exactly. I
that?
mean, we dressed our kids in random stuff
Well,
to do.
Amber looked like a gypsy most of the time. You
Yeah,
can't
well,
say
that was
Traveller,
her
Roman, no.
choice of
Yes,
clothing.
that's what I mean.
But that so. I think what's happened is obviously they were thrown into the limelight. They were a young couple, had a kid, massively famous, massively sought after, followed everywhere, like the press used to do. They still do, but even worse back then. And I think he was probably just harassed, and everything he did was scrutinised. And that's not his choice. He's just born into that. So I think this is what happens with a lot of these super famous
Will
children.
Smith's son, he's a bit.
They all go a little bit off the rails because it is such a bizarre life. It's not a normal life.
But every kid goes off the rails. It's just magnified by media.
It's not the fact that we all know about it. It's the fact that the media are scrutinising everything they do. It's like you know, any of our kids being just harassed on social media all the time, or being, you know, judged constantly, but on a massive scale.
Yeah.
So that was like his original sort of beef with them, I suppose, if you like. Just obviously he's just unhappy. Anyway, he's met his wife, Nicola Peltz, who is daughter of
Marty Peltz
from his dad's name anyway.
He's
a multi-billionaire, very wealthy, very powerful person from America.
Yes, please.
He's an older dad. He's in his 80s. So whether he married again, younger wife, whatever, irrelevant. However, it's like the Beckhams obviously were like the super rich, powerful couple of the UK and a lot of the world. And then he's like stepped it up a level. So it's almost like he's sort of doesn't, you know what I mean? They're probably happy with the match because they thought obviously she's not marrying for his money.
This is true. But the fame is different, you know. Most people know Beckhams around the world.
Yeah,
I haven't heard.
That's what I mean. Guy. So the Beckhams are probably like, you know, $500 million. He's 4 billion.
You wouldn't want to be famous, would you? Would you? When you were doing all your Glad stuff, did you want to be famous?
No, I actually didn't. Weirdly, I found it all a bit weird.
What did you want from it?
I think just being. I like performing. I like being in front of the audience, and I suppose the adulation from the people, but live that I could see.
You want to be worshipped.
It was a different time because obviously we used to be worshipped like Angela and Landman. I think just having. Yeah, but tiny dalliances of press stuff that happened where, you know, they made stuff up or wrote or pretended stuff had happened and it didn't happen. You know, that was a tiny weeny bit and it's horrible. So imagine that, like, time out a million.
No, I'm just thinking, would anyone now, knowing with social media and all that, want to be famous?
Hundreds of people. Well, why do all the people go on Love Island? Why do they go on all these, like, TV shows that
Celebrity, what's the naked dating one? I mean, I find that phenomenal.
I mean, people, you know, you can't account for what people want just by what we do. But I think for them, it's just such a massive explosion of fame and scrutiny of everything they do because of their parents.
But what I found weird was watching that documentary with Simon Cowell looking for a new boy band, December the 25th or whatever they're called. And during the filming, Liam Payne died. Mm-hmm. And these kids were trying to become in this new group, and he selected how many? 7 of them? 5?
Yeah.
So, and they've just seen what's happened to one of the guys from One Direction, who was, in theory, as you guys were telling me, I didn't know, he was the one that was relatively straight-laced when he was younger.
Appeared so.
But there's one in the new group where you just think he is definitely with all the things that come with becoming a famous young pop star. There's one of them that you can already see.
And he gives me Robbie Williams vibes.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. But, you know, you'd hope. I think it's a problem. It's the people around them sometimes that either can help or not help. And I think there's that famous line in Love Actually with Bill Nighy where he goes, "Kids don't take drugs, become a pop star, and you like get them for free." You know what I mean? So it's that sort of thing that people around them just.
But I do think, you know,
the people around them change. I think that's what happened. You know, on a very minor level, when I became a gladiator, someone I'd known for years and years and years started calling me by my gladiator name only. And I was like, I haven't changed my
I'm
name.
sorry, I didn't mean to.
It's
I found
not
it.
you,
Oh,
because you hadn't known me very long at all.
Okay.
Someone I'd known since I was
I
about
called you
5.
Bogey for a bit.
Yeah, I'm like, I haven't changed my name. That's just so. But people have expectations that you think that that's what you want to be called now. And I'm like, what are you doing, you weirdo?
But I do think, I mean, every family we know, there are little nuances or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just, I do feel sorry for anyone in the public eye that perhaps hasn't chosen to be. I mean, the Beckhams kids didn't choose to be in the public eye. The Beckham family did.
Yeah, brand Beckham is massive. And I think that's what's happened. So, and obviously Victoria Beckham went on and did all her fashion stuff. And the feud really hit the fan, I think, was they're trying to make it look as though it's between Victoria and his new wife. Right. Because when they got married, she didn't have any involvement in it, which, to be fair, she's not the mother of the bride. You can't be. She's got 3 other kids. She's only got 1 daughter. But, and obviously because she did, made fashion, designed fashion and stuff, I think she was half expecting her to want to wear a dress that she designed.
Yes, yeah.
She shunned that.
What she wears? Something from Shein.
Yeah, she's got like Primark. Yeah. 3 outfits, and not one of them was a Victoria Beckham outfit. So they're trying to make that out, that sort of started the like catty bitchiness. And obviously Brooklyn, I don't know whether it is or it isn't, but there seems to be a shift of like Brooklyn being like controlled, influenced by, the wealth and power, obviously, of the American family. They live out there. But, it's just silly things like it doesn't even, but, it hasn't even like messaged his like brothers and sisters on their birthday. But then he might have done. Exactly. On a private message. This is what I was reading up on some stuff yesterday, and I was like, but you don't have to announce it on social media. You don't have to put an ad in the paper wishing your family happy birthday. Just because he hasn't done it publicly doesn't mean he hasn't. But then he's blocked all the whole family from any of his social media. And like I said, he has this whole, like, if they want to contact him, they have to go via the lawyers, which I think is a real shame. I think I get the family feud thing. I get him being pissed off. I get him being like, look, just let me just live my life.
But on a lesser detail, I've had clients, obviously, what do they call it? Captains of industry, they're top of their game. And there's articles written in them, business articles written about them. And they come in and they're like, this is unbelievable. They've like, everything has just been magnified tenfold. They're like, A, I didn't make that money. B, I didn't make that loss. C, I didn't sack that person. That didn't happen. And I know these people, and I know they didn't, because they still see the person that they're having a feud with.
Yeah.
They go for dinner with them that night, and you're like, it's just the journalism. And I almost now, when I read the front of the paper, you just think, it's a bit like your mum was saying it yesterday, talking to the kids about, I know Flynn was saying it to your mum about these big fires happening in Australia.
Right.
And it was quite interesting to listen to Flynn. He goes, why do you read that stuff? If A, we have no influence on it, and it really upsets you and sets you off on a negative at the start of the day, you get lots of people, especially your mum's age, who will read the paper or listen to news and so on. And it sets them off in almost a negative straight because it's always bad news. You get one good news story at the end. And Flynn, it was quite interesting, Flynn saying that. He goes, well, you can't do anything about it. So obviously it doesn't mean he's callous or he doesn't care, but he's like, you can only control the environment around you and the people you meet. So you be positive to the people you meet and the environment around you, and you do the right thing. Because you can't control it. So obviously you want to know about the world and geography and politics and so on.
Like really
no, I know, but it's when you get, lots of people that kind of just take it all in. Oh,
doom
it's
and gloom,
so
life
bad.
drainers, we call it. When they just
bad.
go, oh,
it's raining in Wales today. Right. Okay. I mean, it's like, I don't know. I just think that I have a bit of a problem with the media, seeing it from people that I've coached who are quite famous in their own world, and you had your stalker and all that bullshit. They just write stuff. They have to fill the page. And now with social media,
I think there is an element of truth, but no one knows. No one knows but them what's actually happened. And
so until you hear a quote or see them being interviewed, I just don't think people should pay any attention.
I think the other thing, incident or event that was a bit of a catalyst as well was
Victoria never smiled.
There's a reason for that. Because someone once told her that she looked weird or something doing it, so then she stopped doing it. Okay. Aside from that, Brooklyn Beckham and his wife have been married for a really long time. 3 years. So they renewed their vows. It's like these people are so bored, they haven't got anything to do with their
They
time.
renewed their vows after 3
3
years.
years and didn't invite any of the. That to me is like a bit of a like PR stunt. And this is the problem. They're run by publicists.
Should we renew our vows?
Well, that would make sense because it's a long time.
And then we can do the recording in the studio. Oh.
But that's what I mean. You know, if people haven't had significant time together, I can get it. 3 years. It's like nothing.
But they could have anniversaries of like.
But I mean, renew your vows. And her dad did the renewal of vows. This is like a big event. All of her family, none of the Beckhams, not even his grandparents, they were saying like his grandmothers, when, you know, David was off playing football in wherever and Victoria was doing some more Spice Girls stuff when he was born. David and Victoria's mums both took on a big role of looking after him and bringing him up. And he's just blanked the whole lot of them, which I think is a real shame.
Yeah.
I mean, fair enough. If Victoria, if there is any truth in Victoria and her falling out and there's a bit of spat, that's just one tiny thing. Don't let it affect your whole family. And that's why they feel, people who are sort of vaguely around them, that it's come a lot from his wife's sort of side of things in America. I mean, Americans love to bloody
But the whole
lawyers and everything.
Harry and isn't she coming over apparently? And he's been given security again. What's his Harry and Meghan? So he's been reallocated security in the States, I think. I read.
Right.
Again, if it's true or not. But I mean, you know, who knows what happens behind doors. But I'd like to think that William is a pretty down to earth. I mean, you know, they are the perfect royal couple. You know, William and Kate. You know, the amount of stuff they do. And so Harry was always slightly the bad boy. You know, I'm not going to say not even close to Andrew.
I was going to say nowhere near.
But you know, he had a good. He enjoyed himself. But
I think because you're the second, he's not in line to the throne, and I think, you know, Brooklyn's the top of the pile, so you can sort of understand.
What pile?
Well, as far as like he's the firstborn, you know, you're an only child, so you don't have that.
I was perfect, so they didn't need to have another
sibling rivalry, if you like. But I think
imaginary friends.
Yeah, but they weren't really your rivals. Your parents didn't know about them.
Okay.
So, meaning, you know, he's the eldest, the firstborn, yes, you know, I don't know what it's and it's like, I don't know that has any relevance to it at all, but I think in some families it does. And I think with, you know, especially like in a royal thing, you've got succession to the throne, and you think, well, I'm bloody number 10, so I'm just going to go off and do what I want, because no one cares. Whereas all the pressure was on William to behave and be a certain way and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I just think it's just a bit weird, this whole, like, they renewed their vows, Brooklyn and his wife, after 3 years. And her dad did it, and there's, you know, there's just a whole, like, cliquey. But they said, oh, and they were like, fine, it's just like a private event, that's fine for the family. There's no, and then this whole, like, massive load of photos came out, so almost like shoving it in their faces again. You know, if you go, renew your vows if you want to, but do it, like, in a little private thing. Why do you have to, like,
get cameras in and,
you know, do it through a magazine or whatever, make a big deal of it? Just have your nice photos, put them up on the wall at home. And also the other thing I think is really sad is he hasn't seen any of his friends that were friends of his before he met.
Oh, I see. You know, that's a bit of a sign.
So I think that's a real shame because it's all her side of it. So he apparently is made, so again with sort of a lot of other Nepo kids like Gordon Ramsay's son and probably Guy Ritchie's son, you know, all the sort of super famous London kids around the same sort of age. Obviously because, you know, they're hanging out with people who understand their lifestyle and get it and go to the same places. I just think it's a real shame.
But it happens in every family. It's just
it happens in every family. I just think
poor bastards get everything written about.
Yeah, I get it, but I just think, oh, you know, I just think for me, if it was just a personal thing between, like you said, Victoria and David and her parents and, you know, that sort of small group, but don't let it knock on to the rest of the family and.
Well, our parents didn't meet until the wedding day.
Well, that wasn't intentional. It's just your parents were in the country for 6 months of the year most of the time.
Yeah, true.
And when they were in the country, I don't know, We were just, well, not we were older. We were 30.
I was very
You were
mature.
about 45.
I was very mature. Very mature young man.
I think just different times. My dad met your dad before the wedding.
Yes.
A week before. Because they weren't in the country. We did it very quickly, so you can't, I mean, we were together for 5 years.
Shotgun.
But we did our own thing. It was not a shotgun wedding.
Okay.
And I think, we organised it. I organised it in 4 months.
What did we say? I did stuff.
What did you do?
Not much. I just went, yes.
You bought a suit?
Yes, I got a suit.
Shoes and a tie.
I organised the hotel and the holiday. Oh, yeah. What are you talking about?
The holiday?
The honeymoon.
Honeymoon.
I did the honeymoon, the hotel, got the dancing girls in, overfilled the bath on the first night. Do you remember?
The dancing girls. What are you talking about?
Yes, with nymphs.
Is that what you're like hoping?
I overfilled the bath, a massive bath at Home House. Home House. That was very nice.
And nearly
massive
drowned.
marble.
It was
Yes,
really
so deep.
Oh,
You couldn't
I got
sit
in and I
in
was
it.
literally like that.
You
I
couldn't
was like,
sit in it.
oh my God. Well, you've been drinking the whole night because people.
Not a huge amount.
No, but people passing you drinks.
Yes.
I think I'd had a drink at the lunch and that was it. And I was too busy on the dance floor, so we had a really cool band.
And talking.
And because slight mistake was we had a very small intimate wedding bit and then we invited another 100 people for like the evening.
Yes.
But we didn't greet them when they all first came in. I think that was a bit of a mistake.
Well, how do you do that? What, stand in a queue like?
No, but just stand as people coming in. We stood by the door and said hello to them. Because when we came in, then we had to spend like about an hour going around chatting to everybody that we invited.
Only the people you wanted to.
But that's, I mean, every time you walk through, people stop to talk to you because they hadn't been at, like the day bit. So they wanted to know everything. You're like, oh my God, I don't want to talk about it anymore. I want to just get on the dance floor.
Suzie.
No, I mean, not being horrible, but I'm like, just come and have a drink, enjoy yourself as a band. Go do the sumo suits. It's a party now. I'm not chatting about it.
Well, I think we should renew our vows now.
Renew our views
on
the wedding.
On each other.
100%.
Would you do anything different in the wedding? Apart from that? Stand at the front, go, hello, hello.
No, I don't want to do it formally, but just be there. Hello. So everybody comes in, you have a quick like, hello, kind of chat, done. Then when you pass them, I felt like I had to stop and talk to people.
No, but the problem is when you are bride and groom at a party, at the wedding, everyone wants to speak to you because it's a special day for them. So
most people have a lot of the people to the actual wedding ceremony. So there's more time to see these people. We didn't. We had very close family and friends. The oldies who love all the wedding bit and all that stuff and then didn't really want to be around for the party. So and then we just had a big party in the evening because most people at a wedding just want to come to the party in the evening. We had a lot of weddings as well that year. So I think we were a bit like...
Oh, it was the year of the wedding. But I do feel people.
I think we'll do a bit more low key. Not that ours was super fancy, but we did it in central London.
Yeah.
I think I'd do a bit more like just a big party event somewhere.
Oh.
Like not like just a bit more rustic.
On the side of a coastline where you could surf in between. Got to go surfing. I haven't been surfing for ages. I think I've forgotten how to surf.
Yes, you probably have.
Oh, don't say that.
No, it's like riding a bike, surely. You just get on a board and...
Not quite like riding a bike.
No, you know what I mean? It's not like, you're not going to go straight out into an 8-foot wave, are you?
Yeah, baby. I can't do it. Is it that one? Or is it? No.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
That?
There we go.
Or is that rock?
No, that's it. Yeah, man.
Is it thumb and little finger?
And I hope not, because I can't do that one.
Or is it? Sorry,
so yeah, I don't think being famous is a good thing.
No, I just think it's a really hard thing. And obviously, Victoria and David decided. Victoria and David, so I know them. I've actually been in a paper next to, not actually physically next to, but they put my photo and David Beckham's photo in a paper next to each other.
Oh, saying what? Potential lovers?
That we were good role models.
Oh,
not me specifically, but just obviously female
gladiators.
And
I see.
Him as a human.
Because interesting, obviously he started as a footballer, she started as a pop star. I would say as a footballer, your predominant thing is to get selected for your club and then hopefully make it as an international. It's not about being famous. As a pop star, it's about being famous. You have to have adulation and fans to become successful. Whereas a footballer, that's a byproduct, or a sportsman,
Yeah, but
that's
I
a
think he
byproduct.
started a whole. I mean, obviously, you had.
Would you remember that?
What's the old Irish?
Keane,
No, the alcoholic who.
George Best.
Yes, him. So he was probably the first superstar.
Yes,
Ultimate.
Playboy styly.
Yeah, who did the lifestyle,
Yeah.
got followed around,
Yeah.
all the adulation.
Yeah.
I mean, it may have happened before that, but it was a bit more like form. People had jobs and then became a footballer. He was just professional, not professional, but I think does he still have to work? But he probably got loads of free stuff.
No, he was pro, wasn't he? That was the era when they were just getting paid enough to not work.
Yeah, so I think he sort of started that whole.
Well, he was the character. I mean, he was.
Well, that's what I mean.
He was
the
the playboy,
personality.
wasn't he?
So that's what joy. Whereas the other guys were quite straight. Like they played football and they had said their little bit afterwards, and like get the ball in the back of the net and do the team, and then we'll go for a pint afterwards, and it's all very jolly. Whereas I think with him, he was the first one who became, like you say, a personality.
Was seen more in clubs than he was on the pitch.
Yeah, and then you've got like the Paul Gascoignes, you've got all the sort of characters that came after that because they saw him, I think, probably as a bit of an icon. And
I think it just depends on the characters.
And meaning like he was doing really well for himself. He was getting a lot of stuff, money, whatever, from being a personality. Probably invited to TV shows, all that stuff, which they'd never really done before, other than talk about the World Cup.
But I'm always amazed now watching rugby, and they all have media training now. And obviously you've got people like Joe Marler, who's kind of crossed over a little bit. And a lot of people don't know about rugby union in the rest of the country. But he naturally is a bit of a raconteur. He likes a story. He's quite interesting.
Raconteur.
I know it's a French word.
Very big word for you.
But some of the guys when they're interviewed, and I have no problem with it. They're very straight-laced. A lot of respect to the other team. But then when you see them, all these things that they show behind the scenes of them training, and they're absolutely life and soul, very funny, quick-witted, all of that. But then they put them in the front of the camera.
Yeah, but you've seen it. Like people that we know who we work with, who as soon as you put them in front of the camera, just go because they think that it takes. I think people are better at it now. I think because of social media. So I noticed that on Gladiators when they released the new show, even all the contenders were really good at talking, being interviewed, because people are so used to doing even a FaceTime call with someone, looking at themselves, seeing themselves on a camera. But I think, for that era, I think they think they have to maybe speak in a certain way or be a certain way rather than just themselves. And they're not allowed to say someone was an idiot. You know what I mean? That some of them are a bit more worried about how they come across and what they say in public. Whereas whether they're with their mates and they're playing rugby, that they're slightly more relaxed.
In their own bubble.
Of being just themselves. Yeah, it's tough. I think it's tough. But I think, with the football side of things, it's such a massive amount of money. And some people go, some of the footballers are just quietly going along, earning their $500,000 a week or whatever they earn.
Or someone like Mo Salah, I don't really ever see him at club. Obviously, he's strict Muslim, is he? I believe. But you don't see him in, the front pages, or it's always in the back pages on a pitch. You don't see him in a club coming out.
And it's just lifestyle. I suppose some are drawn to it for the fame and the money and play football.
I guess it's just like character, isn't it? Peter Crouch is naturally very funny and good on camera. But
he realised that people are going to take the piss out of him, and he's probably, as a tall, lanky kid growing up, has probably developed
thicker skin.
A way to banter and sort of comebacks to people saying to him, "Go on, you tall, all like stick."
You see that football where was it? Macclesfield beat Crystal Palace. So Crystal Palace won the FA Cup last year, and they lost to Macclesfield, 161 places below them, and their manager is Wayne Rooney's brother.
Yes, I did see that. Yeah. I saw an interview where Wayne Rooney was almost in tears. He was so proud of him. Yeah. And they were saying, what a thing being in the shadows of Wayne Rooney the whole of your life in football, in the same career, if you like. So and how nice
they were about to go bust. The new owner came in, pissed. He wasn't pissed when he bought it, but he was like, as a bit of a joke. I think he spent $4 million on the club.
As you do.
And it's, what a great story. They're now, I think they climbed 2 leagues since he's bought them.
I did see a little cartoon about that's what I remember, because it was to do with Trump saying, people in Greenland with a little sign going, "I hope he's seen Macclesfield on the up," so that he might divert and they could take over Macclesfield instead of Greenland. So it's Greenland. We talked about this last week. We kept talking about Iceland. It's Greenland.
Oh, sorry.
We got it completely wrong.
Oh, yes.
So
sorry.
apologies
Definitely
if
not
you
Iceland.
do go and listen. We didn't mean Iceland. We meant Greenland, even though we went off on a tangent about Iceland as well.
Yes.
But Greenland. Yeah. So what's happening this week? Anything exciting? We have an 18-year-old, nearly.
Oh, yes, next week, Monday. Yeah, 18. It's quite weird. I was watching today as I walked back dogging. There was a dad.
You were watching dogging?
I was dogging and people were watching me, maybe.
Ooh.
And I was walking back and there's a dad who I see who has got a black lab as well, but he was taking his 2 kids to school. And he had one on his shoulder.
The dog or the kids?
No dogs. One on his shoulder crying because she hurt her leg. He was carrying like 3 bags. The other girl walking along. And I just thought, that does feel like a very long time ago that we were doing that. You know, when the kids were that age.
Well, I remember going, the reason
to the point where I was smiling and going, no, not like smirking, just like, oh, isn't that cute? And he was being very good. He was, dad of the year stuff. But I was just like, I mean, when dads become dads at my age or even older, I'm like, no, Sam Osteo, it wasn't quite my age, but it's like, you've got to have a lot of energy.
Yes.
And when you haven't had sleep, I'm like, what?
Well, I haven't had sleep, and also you haven't been used to that. I mean, whether you'd had kids before and then you're on a sort of second wave of young babies or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you've not had kids before and you've lived your own life and then suddenly, boom, everything is like...
Yeah.
shut.
I mean, I'm glad I was an older dad because I think I would have been way too immature and just shit. Technically shit as a young dad. I think I was way too selfish. I would have been way too selfish. Everything would have been, like almost like a teenager. If I was a dad at 25.
I don't think you would. I think, I think you are...
I wasn't very mature.
It may creep up on you, but I think you just have to get on with it, unfortunately.
I know you have to get on with it, but I don't think I would have been very good.
Mm.
I don't think I would have been very good. I would have been a short fuse. I mean, I was known as the volcano. When they were older, I was the volcano. They could push me quite a lot.
I don't think anybody's any good at it. I think people just have a slightly more tolerance.
Some people have far more tolerance and understanding than others. It's just a character trait.
Mine was just survival, I think, when they were young.
Yeah, I think
they had to survive, so I had to just do it because
it was the choice. Exactly.
Otherwise, what?
Yeah, true.
But I just remember going into the gym, like the big whatever it was at the time, a sport or whatever, one of those big chain gyms. Or coming out of the gym, I think. And Amber had been in the crash or whatever in the crash while I was in the gym. And I came out, I think Amber was kicking off. And I had Flynn on my shoulder, almost like shoulder pressing him above her because she was trying to like beat the shit out or like punch him because he was taking my attention and she wanted my attention. And I literally had him like a little barrel on my shoulder like this. Yeah. And I walked past the receptionist. They were going, "You're right." I was going, "This is why I come to the gym. So I can shoulder press my child to avoid the other one killing it."
Yeah.
This is what happens. Just mental. Just being able to like hold them and separate them. And but there was like, obviously on your phone it comes up with memories or this time last year or this day.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a little video, wasn't it? It came up of Flynn, I think when it was his first, like when he first started at school, was in reception. His first like
party.
And it was like a rugby tots party. And which is like a whole full circle moment because Gareth, our neighbour, who now has a marquee company, is providing the marquee for his 18th.
Yeah.
And he, at the time, was doing this rugby tots thing, coaching little kids and doing like rugby parties. And it snowed. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was perfect.
It literally snowed
proper
that
snow
morning,
as well.
and
proper
like enough that they could build a snowman, and like and we had it in this little like village hall thing, church hall, whatever. I can't remember what it's called. Youth club hall, whatever. Scout hut, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then out in the back, they had this big sort of field bit, so they could go outside and do it in the snow. And there was only one kid that came not appropriately dressed for. All the other kids were like brilliant, put on their like boots and coat. They're all little boys. They're all little boys' school, like all 4 and 5 year olds.
If you look back at that and like you coming out of the gym with kids screaming, and if let's say super famous, I mean the media, the amount of stuff they would have on.
Yeah, child abuse. She's
Oh
like,
God, Amber used to know the child line because I used to hit her on the
she
back of
threw
the
it at
head.
me the other day. I was like, "You're 20. You can't," because I wouldn't do something or wouldn't
Immediately when she
like.
needed to.
She's like, "I'm going to call childline." It's
She
like,
did
I'm
know the number.
"You're 20. You
Yeah.
can't call. You're not a
She
child
can't really. Her
anymore.
hands
You're
are
like,
too
your
small.
child, but you're not a child." I said, "You need to phone like, I don't know,
Samaritans.com.
abused daughter from me not appearing immediately to do whatever you require
But
me
I
to
do.
do."
I mean, going back to the whole family feuds. I mean, I don't know. There's always something, or there's an uncle along the line you were like, fucking hell.
But I think because you're the same with whether you're famous or not, you like they always say you can't choose your parents. You know, you can't choose your parents. That happens. You know, and so hopefully you get on with your parents, but lots of people don't for various reasons. Like you say, whether it's because the parents go, "Jesus Christ, it's been hard. I can't be arsed with this."
Yeah, this
No,
is what I signed
there
up
was a thing in
for.
the paper on the weekend. The woman whose husband decided after 20 years of marriage and 3 kids that he didn't want that life anymore.
Yeah, fair enough.
Didn't want that life anymore. Left. Doesn't want anything to do. Occasionally sees the kids. Like,
well, we got a friend of a friend who's just was an older dad, married, 2 kids. We know her, and he's doesn't hardly ever sees the kids at all anymore. And you're like, I couldn't imagine that. However much, let's say we fell out and we're absolutely, you know,
then imagine we fell out.
Shut your mouth. And you hated each other, like absolutely detested. But to go to the point where you wouldn't, you know, see your own kids.
Yeah, I think that's what I was trying to say about the Beckhams thing. You know, I get it. If there's like a small group of people who've had a bit of a spat. 30s, maybe.
Oh, fuck. Is he?
Oh, like late 20s.
Oh, okay. I thought he was like 21 or something.
No, he's late 20s or 30. I don't know. So I think, well, the youngest one's 14 or 15, I think, Harper, the daughter.
Is that a boy or a girl?
The girl. The daughter.
Yeah, no, it's not anymore. Daughter. It's not anymore.
It is. No, the daughter. No. And then there's
3 boys. I want to be identified as a daughter, but I could be a boy.
But the boys are all got to be 20, 21, 24.
Which is the one that was playing football?
Romeo.
He was Brentford.
No, or Cruz. Oh, I don't know. It's Romeo or Cruz. I don't know which one.
Look at you knowing the names.
I think Romeo. Well, I've just been reading, listening to all this stuff.
I feel for people.
One's a model, one does thing, but I think the problem is also with the, you know, Brooklyn. Going back to it briefly, it's just, you know, it's really hard for them to get a job. And apparently, the work ethic of the Beckhams when they had kids when they were young, I think Brooklyn was. I mean, he was probably working in a really expensive, someone-owned mate's cafe or something, but he was going and getting a job. He did a job on a Saturday, going to his cafe, helping out, or whatever, whether he was back.
Yeah.
To get him to understand you work and you earn money. Whereas his wife, it's like they've bought a house, or they've been bought a house by the dad, and the dad was upset because the Beckhams didn't contribute. And they're like, well, he can't afford that house. Because, you know, we brought our kids up to, like, you know, yes, we've given them amazing stuff and they don't have to worry about money, but understanding that you work and you get paid and then you can afford stuff and buy stuff yourself rather than just being handed, you know, £1 billion by your parents to do everything. And I think that's a bit of it as well. It's like, well, we're not going to contribute because
that's not the right principle.
Yeah, we're trying to teach our kids to, like, find their own way in the world and earn their own money, and yes, we'll support and buffer to make their lives pleasant, but we're not going to, like, just hand them a load of cash to buy whatever they demand, which I thought was quite refreshing.
Yes,
because they've both done that themselves. They've both, you know, worked and they've earned the money. Yes, superstardom and all that stuff.
Well,
but they work bloody hard behind the scenes, as far as we know.
Yeah, 100%.
But yes, they have a million team of people running around doing it for them as well. Million.
I think it's a lot of people.
Who do I have?
Me. And Ziggy.
Yes, she doesn't take any time or energy.
No, she likes to do. She shows her appreciation by pissing on the floor.
So I think we've gone back. So our kids have grown up, but now our dogs are taking all our time and energy.
Yeah.
Well, one in particular.
Yeah.
She is
psycho.
She has so Ziggy, our little dog, she has antipsychotic
drugs at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, which aren't working yet.
I mean, we doubled the dose.
But apparently, there are even stronger doses. So what we
gave it one to start with. do make a difference. So she's now on 2.
Pull them down her throat.
Let's put between 3 and 4 p.m.
Should we get
I don't know when it's supposed to take effect. I can't see any difference.
We get her a spliff.
She's just mental, and she's during the day she's like
I know
chilled all day long, and we can leave them absolutely fine. As soon as we come back from it's like the cycle.
Twilight hour, yeah. It's like the homework hour when you used to have homework.
Yeah,
with
when
kids.
they was younger, between about 4:30, 5 o'clock, and about 7:30, I used to just hate.
When I used to come home, you could almost not open the door because of the pressure within the house.
Everybody was tired and cranky. I'm trying to do everything. 2 kids, they're shouting at each other, someone did something.
Think that was
they're trying to do homework. I mean, they're bloody 8 years old. Who needs to do homework?
Remember, I think that's the only time I've walked and went, I don't know if I signed up for this. There was about maybe, I don't know, it's always difficult when you're in it.
You didn't sign up for it, you could walk in.
I'm all right, I'm not saying...
No, I'm just saying, but that's what I was saying about the survival thing. Go and pick them up from school, bring them back, and then there's all this stuff that you're supposed to do as a parent and make them do, and feed them, or drive them to... You've got to drag one because someone's got swimming. It's all stuff we've chosen to do with our kids, but you feel like they need it and they love it. But it's all the logistics and all the crap around it. And, Amber was saying, I'm never taking them swimming because it's so hot. And I said, yeah, I remember taking you swimming. And poor Flynn was standing there. Literally, we'd arrive. It'd be like December and we'd arrive fully wrapped up. We'd have to take almost all our clothes off, literally. He was standing there in a nappy. I'd be wearing a vest because I was still feeding him, I think. So I was just always hot all the time as well. So I'd end up with layers on to get there, and then taking all the layers off, sitting there in a vest and a pair of shorts or something because you're just sweating for 45 minutes, and then you've got to get a child change in a stinky, manky changing room. Literally, I think I used to just put a towel over and put a dressing gown on, chuck it in the car, and drive home because it was just so hideous. And they're tired. Well, actually, she used to calm swimming. The reason I used to go because swimming used to calm her down. Don't know what it was, the water, the chlorine, I don't know, but whatever happened, she would go in and then come out all serene and quite nice sometimes.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you're in that stage of life with your kids, good luck.
Deep breaths.
It gets better, it just changes. Breasts or breasts?
Deep breaths.
Breasts or breasts, whatever you prefer, whatever floats your boat, really.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next week.
Good luck.
Bye.
Thank you.